Hello, I'm Markham Weatherwax, and thank you for visiting my channel again. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about inventory management. Now I'm going to be doing this in the Firestorm Viewer, but it's very similar in the SL Viewer and other viewers. First thing I want you to do is bring up your inventory screen. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is the received items folder. The received items folder is basically a mailbox. It's like a box where Amazon delivers your packages or something like that. You're really not supposed to leave everything that you bought over all the time you've been on SL in your received items folder. You're supposed to move it off into your main inventory. After you've unboxed it or whatever, you don't just want to keep all your unboxed stuff in here. And I'll tell you why. Because it can lag your system down. It can cause problems in your inventory and inventory loss. And it can absolutely slow down your viewer at times. It's got too much to process because it's trying to figure out what's new, what's not. Whatever's in your received items folder has nothing to do with the marketplace. If you purchase something on the marketplace, it delivers it to your mailbox and then keeps its own record. It doesn't care if anything is in here or not. I know some people think that if you don't have something in your received items folder, the marketplace won't know you bought it. That has nothing to do with the marketplace. These are two separate things. Your inventory is not the same as the marketplace. So move it off. And I would tell you, go ahead and make a new items folder. New items. And, or ready to back up items. That's what I do, is I back up everything I'm going to keep a copy of. Because I often back up into other places, so it's out of my inventory. That's why after 17 years, nearly 17 years of being in SL and being a very active person, I only have 39,327 items in my inventory. I don't need a prim couch that is 21 prims or LI or 50 LI that was made 16 years ago. I don't need that. But being a hoarder, I still have those things from 100 years ago. So if you're ready to back up, you've already unpacked it, go ahead and delete it or move it up into your other directory. Move it up into your other folder. Drag it up, drop it, and there you go. The second thing is, you want to look at this. The top of your inventory, you've got a filter. It's all types. One thing I'm going to tell you first, or second, is calling cards. That's in your regular inventory. It's a calling card folder. I'm not going to open this up. But you may have tons of people who you've met or friended or unfriended over the years, and really the only calling cards you want are for people that you still associate with. If you've been collecting calling cards for hundreds of years, or 20, or 10 or 5, that could get pretty large. So go ahead and delete that. Plus you want to delete any duplicates that you have in the calling cards. I just want to get that one out of the way. But that's up to you if you decide you want to do that. The next thing to do is I want you to go to landmarks. And landmarks, when you filter, it will show you everything in your inventory folders. Everything in that and your library, but you can't do anything with it. library, so leave that alone. It's going to show me landmarks that are anywhere in my inventory, in folders or subfolders or whatever else. They should only really be here in landmarks. But let's look at this. I have landmarks to places that I don't need. I have double landmarks to places I don't need. I don't need any of this stuff. So I can go ahead and either delete it, highlight it, press delete, and that disappears. And here, and disappears. If I want to keep something, I can just drag it up and drop it into my inventory folder, or my landmarks folder. But there's no point in keeping most landmarks from purchases, because stores move around left and right, or they're no longer in the prior location, and if you click on it, you're going off into somebody's house and you get banned all over the place. There's no point in keeping landmarks from products that you purchased. There's really no reason for that. So that's what you do. You go through and you delete landmarks, which are duplicate landmarks. If you buy a lot from the same vendors, like BBX, I've got BBX Design and BBX Design, the same landmark. And I also have that landmark because it's one of my favorite stores up here in my landmarks. So that's how you get rid of that. You go through all these folders. You don't delete the folder, you delete what is inside, the landmark that's inside, because if you want to keep that landmark, drag it to landmarks. Drag it up, drop it. And that's how you clean that up. Then you do the same with note cards. You want to get rid of any note cards like this one. I don't need much of this because it's online. I don't need thank yous. This is a gift. Like this. Thank you. And I'll just delete that because I don't want it. Anything you don't want, get rid of it. Anything that's not an instruction manual, get rid of it. Next you go to scripts. Why scripts? Well, if it's not in your scripts folder, you probably don't need it. Like this. Sometimes there's unpacker scripts. Or update check from old places. If you've got the update check in the something like that, or Casper update, a lot of the stuff's outdated. It's way outdated, so you don't need to have this stuff. So I delete them, and that's going to reduce your inventory a lot. And I'm going to go through and get rid of all those scripts that I don't need. And the next one is texture. Why? Why do I want to go through textures? Because if I have a clothing folder that has an advertisement, I might not want that advertisement. I may not want to have something like that. I may not want to have, let's say Maya, who's a very good builder. She often puts in hers her own logo in her products. I've deleted those already, but you want to get rid of those. And those are the basic ones you do. That's all you have to do. The objects you don't need to do, and sounds, most of us don't have too many sounds. The materials or settings, most of that depends on the person. but those are the basic ones. Sometimes you want to get animations because sometimes they'll have a gift hold box pose. But me, I like to keep those like this. I like to keep them sometimes, or a bag holding a bag animation. But sometimes you got 3 or 4 or 5 or 100 of them. You don't need to do that. The last thing you want to do is when you're talking about clothing. You're going to have probably a lot of people or a lot of different types of things for other avatars, not your own. And you want to get rid of those things, but how do you do it? How do you do it? In this example, I'm going to show you that I have all of these different types of things. I got all these slink physiques and these all this stuff that I don't need because this is not my avatar type. I don't need slink or classic or any of that stuff. What I need is a signature Gianni. So what of all this? Oh, I don't need to keep these. But here's how I can still keep them if I don't have my original installation box or my res box or the boxed version of it. You would create a box. Just a simple box. Name it test box or bear box version 1, whatever. Go ahead and set the click to open. And then what I can do with this is I can't drag a folder over, but I can take anything that I don't want, like this stuff, and drag it over. Same thing with this one. The classic, I could drag everything that's in it. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the folder name and press F2 or click rename. And then I'm going to copy. Press escape. And I'm going to paste it in here. In the name of the box. Go back to the content tab. Drag every one of this stuff, everything that's in here. We got a lot of them. All the stuff in here, I'm going to drag over and drop it. Then I'm going back to the top of my inventory screen. I'm not touching down here. Everything's still highlighted. And I can just press delete, or I can select the folder name and now press delete. And take my box. There it is. There it is. And now I can copy this box, go back to this folder, and paste it. And it's where I need it to be. There it is. So it's backed up now. Or I put it in my backup folder, wherever I want. Now I can delete one. Keep the other. And when I open it up and say copy to my inventory, it's now made the folder, same name as the name of the box. And it's all back there for when I need to do when I need it. And that is a more advanced way of backing up, but I don't need this stuff, so there's all this 14 elements, or 14 items, or 15 if you count the folder, that I can get rid of, because I don't need it. But I have it as backup right here. And I could cut that, go to my ready for backup folder and paste it. And it's in there, ready to go whenever I need it. I have a lot of stuff, but it's not as much there as at the top where my sorting is. But you notice I don't have a ton of stuff because I do this kind of work routinely. That's how you basically do it. The simplest way to get the beginning handle on your inventory. And then later on, you can get a little bit weird like me and make subfolder after subfolder after subfolder of things. Some of us are very strange, but I've been in SL a very long time, and this is how I get along. Hope this helps some of you. Talk to you again later.